everyone, and welcome to the full moon in Sagittarius video, which is happening on the 14th of June. And I feel like this full moon is going to shine light in exposing inner truths. So I pulled a card already, the Agape, or however you pronounce it. I'm just going to read out of this book. So it says, what if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, goddess, or nature at the center? How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of Agape. I don't know, I keep calling that Agape. I think I'm trying to name it like the crystal. Anyway, it is alive when we are in awe and wonder. Our breath is taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. And that's kind of the vibe I've been getting from this card, is that this full moon in Sagittarius is like another stage into our spiritual awakening. It's like we're taking our spiritual places in the network of the collective or society, if you want to call it that. It's a very powerful time, and see how like this is lining up, and I'm seeing like the chakras as well. It's like star as above, so below, and then this is the link is us and us sharing our information with each other. So it's like a really profound time. It's very meaningful. But you might feel like you need to go full steam ahead with some things. And the big message is coming through is actually, can you rein it back? Because like Sagittarius energy is fire energy. It's like letting the horse out of its pen and just like setting it free. Like Sagittarius wants that freedom, and that could be like the freedom of creativity, wanting to charge ahead with that. But Spirit's saying, can you pull back? Can you kind of detach from that for a bit? Like, it's very important that we step back and take a rest. If you're someone that hasn't been doing anything with like your life purpose or your projects, and you have been chilling for the last, 6 months, then the opposite can be true for you, because right, everything's a duality. You might get inspiration at this time, and you might need to actually charge ahead with something. So just use your feelings of discernment. So basically the opposite to what you've been doing, and it's all relative. Kind of look at your energy flows. Like if you could map it out over the last 2 years, what would it look like? Let's get some more information. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, no action. We've got the 8 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. So this is all fire energy as well. And this is like the delay in the movement. It's like dropping how you're willing to see things, because I feel like there's some more enlightenment that wants to come in. But when we create like so much busyness, or there's distraction in the world, and that can also be distractions with what we're watching on social media, and where are we addictively placing our time and like not seeing it. What doesn't make you feel good? What strangles your energy? What strangles your clarity? I feel like this is like the 2 pentacles here, the 2 polar opposites. Of course, we've got the Chariot reverse, because we're not meant to really be doing too much right now, other than like looking after ourselves. This is like fighting within yourself. Also, just got dizzy. The whole like good side, bad side to yourself as well. Like the devil or whatever sitting on your shoulder, and the other one's an angel, however you want to put it. There's kind of like a trickster energy in the air. If you've noticed that there's another voice that's joining you, if you're clairaudient, that's kind of like guiding you I think for some people, it's like a test. If you're highly evolved, Spirit will sometimes test you, right? Because this is a year of self-mastery. And one of our mastery lessons is being able to discern what is right for you, no matter what your guides tell you or not. Like being able to follow your guidance from your guides is like being in grade 1. Do you know what I mean? And you've evolved so much. And the test is, you know, I couldn't say this a few years ago. They were like, you can't say this a few years ago, because people were still evolving and learning to like work with their guides and their intuition and stuff like that. But now, like, you're at this point where it's like you're the only one with autonomy and discernment in regards to what you hear spiritually and how you feel you need to progress. They're like bowing out. You know, it's just like having teachers in grade school and high school. It's, you don't need them anymore. Yeah, they step in like a parent when you're like, you know, can I eat eggs that are a week expired in the fridge? You know, you ask those questions, like, I don't know. They'll step forward to answer questions, yeah. But for big pivotal things, or, you know, or whatever, they leave it to you, up to your own devices, like your parents would. Like, oh, how do I, you know, refinance my mortgage? If you want to compare it to boring 3D things, it's the same thing in the spiritual world. It's like, you're spiritually evolved now, you've developed your intuition, you know, discernment, and so, you know, it's up to you to make that decision. So we can't always, you know, tap in, even if it's to do with, oh, do I trust this person? You already know if you can trust this person or not. And we just need to detach from our ego, which is linking us to our past experiences, and getting back to the core of the energy. What is your first impression when you meet someone? You know, it's a feeling, or did you watch them do something you didn't quite like something doesn't feel right? Like, you need to trust that, and that's all you kind of need to know. So this is like a next stage into the intuition via the initiation, is discerning things for yourself. Whew. Well, that's a good one. It's annoying. But, you know, this is what you've come here to do. It's so annoying, especially when you're like, God damn it, I've just, you know, gone around in circles in my head. What the hell is the answer? Little help. It's almost like you feel like they're like, your guides are, you're on your own. This is the other thing. Say, like, I know you guys are mostly married and stuff, but say, you know, for those people that go online and they want to do is this recording? Let's see. Yeah. And they want to figure out how their, you know, crush feels about them or whatever. You'll basically project, this is how powerful we are, we'll project our feelings into those readings. Sometimes, yeah, if you're not holding on too tightly to the outcome, you might get the answer about how the crush feels about you, or how that person feels about you. It doesn't have to be like crush related, family or whatever. But it's basically a projection of how you think the situation is, or how you want it to be, you know, and that's why we're such co-creators in the world, although we can't affect someone else's will. Well, without being manipulative anyway. What's my point with that? I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, we're so powerful, and I think it's like, that's the other thing, we're realizing how powerful we are, and finding out systems that work for you, like spiritual systems, what works for you, what some things I might say might not work for you, or, you know, and some things some other people say it resonates. You might understand it at different times and go, oh, that's what she was trying to get at. You know, it's all relative. I got the embodiment card. I love that. Chant. I feel like this is like calling in what we want through with our intentions as well. And that's the thing, like, I feel like we need to again withdraw from too much action to the point where it makes us feel uncomfortable and stresses us out, and retreat more into, you know, community life, community way of living, celebrating with our sisters, our sister witches, our life and how we want it to be. It's like really community focused. Not to the point of self-sacrificing ourselves, but where we feel at home with other people, where we're like trying to achieve group goals. It's more like an Aquarius group mindset. Collectively, how are we getting together and sharing our knowledge and celebrating it and singing and dancing around the fire and going to the beach, and like how are we celebrating with our soul family? And like do those things like offerings and stuff like that. Like I think we really need to get back to our roots of how things used to be, because that's what's important. And I think like in order for things to balance out in the world, we need to go back to those practices, because those hold higher frequencies, chanting or drumming or crystal bowling or, you know, moon ritual ceremonies, making moon water, making holistic medicine, sharing that sort of stuff. Like that's raising our frequency, and then the more people we share it with in a community, you know, it's like 20 times as powerful. It's like, you know, the full moon energy. This is a super full moon as well, so it's closest approach to the earth. It's more powerful. So if we're in groups, we're amplifying that power. Like the moon is being amplified, being a super moon. Like the pull is bigger, the reach is bigger. And we don't have to do anything, right? It's just like the moon cycle. The moon just happens. We don't have to tell it what to do. It just happens. Something about that. So like trying to find another way of saying how to find your flow in this time. No, there's some big one. Oh no, on the top. Wily coyote, pure genius. Like another way, here we go, provoker. And that's the fire energy. So there could be some, check your transit, your current transits in your chart. You could be, I mean, this is heavy energy. I feel like this is like, there's an inner fight happening. And this is part of your like evolution process, your spiritual evolution. And by doing this old world way of being, and embodying who you really are at that soul level, is going to kind of disperse this fire, any tension. I mean, the Uranus energy is breakthrough energy. And I'm also hearing quick pleasing, not quit. So it's like they want to give you something. And when we step out of our own way, they can give us the answers we seek. It's like, you know, you probably do this too. If I want to answer to something, I can't just go, give it to me now, because I'm too angry, I'm too demanding. Even if the universe gave me the answer, I wouldn't hear it anyway, because obviously it's probably not going to be the answer I seek. So therefore I have to go, okay, I'm aware of my feelings right now. I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I'm allowed to feel that way. I'm going to write about that. But at the end of it, I would like, you know, to leave a little note to the universe and say, can you please show me, you know, the answer to this frustration, or where it's coming from, or what do I need to do about this situation? And I let it go and I leave it be, because I know the universe will boomerang what I need to see back to me. That rhymes. You know, and it always does. And that could be because it's my belief system, or is it because that's what I've asked, I've commanded that. You know, I've been through enough, we've all been through enough to trust the universe when we ask for something to receive it. You know, and then I'll open a book or I'll overhear a show all of a sudden that I've seen 100 times, but all of a sudden it has the words have a different meaning. You know, you pick up your cards, like literally I could pick up any card deck, pick a card, and then I'll go read what's in the book and it will answer my question. Like that's how freaking instant it can be as well, if you're in the right frame of mind. And I don't know if someone needs that for this upcoming energy. It's just very wholesome. It's very much being who you are. And it's like that Sagittarius free energy, you know, that it's really being who you are, but without the whole subconscious belief, in which is an old belief, I don't think you have it anymore, of I'm not good enough, therefore have to overachieve, which is basically what society has imprinted on people, you know, with your schoolwork and stuff like that. You have to do this, you have to reach this standard, this goal. What for? Like, I don't want to be a part of your communist society. Like, I just, fuck off. I don't need what you're offering, you know. So I think some of that energy is clearing. We don't want to be working over hard. What's the word? Overworking anymore. We're just beyond that. And I think that's like some of the frustration, that energy that's breaking away. It's the shoulds that we've been brought up with, or how to be, or, you know, I need to be reaching 1 million people in order for me to feel good and valuable. But it's not that. It's beyond that. You know, if you're making a difference, you're making a difference. And you're never always going to know, and you always have to start somewhere. And the question we always have to ask ourselves every day with what we're doing, am I enjoying what I'm doing? Am I at peace with what I'm doing? Is my energy balanced with what I'm doing? Like, those are like the really important questions. I'm feeling like I can't breathe. Am I breathing deeply? Am I taking the time to breathe? Because like regulating our emotions and our energy is the thing right now. Like, that's what's pivotal. That's what we need to do in order to get to this next stage of this initiation. It's all quite magical. Like, if you think, where were we like 4 years ago? Things are so different now. I think 2019 was like really gearing us up. In 2018. What card deck should I use? Oh my god, these are my favorite tarot cards. I've gotten so many cool ones lately. Addicted. It's my guilty little secret. Let's see, let go of blockages. Let's see if I can get some messages and some guidance. What we need to do right now. Play. If that isn't Sagittarius energy, like, I don't know what is. What does it say? Dance to music solo in your living room. Legit, that's exactly what I wanted to do today. Whack on a Kylie concert and just potter around the house. Play hide and seek with a child. Play a sport. Do something fun, adventurous, or crazy. It opens up so many realms of creativity and possibility. I think we just need to have fun, because that's what raises our frequencies. We can elevate above tumultuous energy when we're having fun, because it disconnects you from that reality. You know, it's as simple as like, ugh, Facebook, toxic, people whinging, delete the app. It's like that. If you don't look at it, it's not there. You're not connecting to that energy. You're not drawing that into your soul, and it's not weighing you down. It's not making you feel like a loser, you know, or whatever, ever you feel. Like, doing the fun stuff is really like what raises our frequencies. I read that as tequila. Set yourself tequila check-ins. Okay. It's been a while, but set yourself regular check-ins. Just as you would have an appraisal at work, set yourself regular check-ins. They could be fortnightly, monthly, or yearly, to measure your progress and help you move forward into the life of your dreams. I feel this is more like energetic check-ins. There's another check-in. Let's read this one. With the purpose. Okay, so say like, I'm just going to use me as an example because that's all I got. You know, I used to have coaches say to me, you got to post more on TikTok. You have to do it at least 5 times a day, and then you become viral. And it's not always the case. And I just knew when they were saying that wasn't right. I tried it, and then my energy wasn't matched to that anyway, so it wasn't going to happen. But when I made a video when I felt called, not because I was on some sort of schedule, because I was inspired to and it felt right, it's like, ooh, there's a message coming through. That's when you're supposed to be doing it, when your intuition tells you, right? And the same goes for anything in your life. When you get an inspired idea, you're like, oh, and then all of a sudden you just feel inspired to run with it right then and there. You know, that's the guidance that we need. That's what we need to check in with ourselves is, does this feel right in the moment right now? Do I do this thing? Do I try this new technique? Do I get that book? Do I, you know, like we should be checking in with everything that we do. Does it feel right? Does it feel right? Evaluate all the decisions you've made, actions you've taken, opportunities you've created or embraced, and ask, did they align with my values and my why? This gets very, hey, this system may work, but I just feel like this doesn't work on neurodivergent people. It just doesn't. We're just like more feeling and stuff like that. If you're systems based, that could be your old way of being. But when you're transcending and probably into the 5D, it's all vibration. It's all, my soul will literally tell me what I need to do because I'll feel it. And I'll feel it 1,000%. And it will elevate me and it will excite me and it will expand my heart center. That's how you know when you're supposed to be doing something. And hey, we all have to do some things in the meanwhile, right? Like, probably some of us still have shitty jobs or whatever, or jobs that just, they're okay, but we know that we don't want to do that. And then this pressure comes, right, with, oh, I feel suffocated because I don't want to be here and I don't know what to do. You know, you get dragged down. But the thing is, if you just park that, yeah, that's part of my reality right now. What's my reality, you know, this Sunday at this very moment? It's to make a video. It's to play with some cards. That's the stuff you need to focus on when you're not at the places that you need to be. What are you focusing on? Community work, sharing, having fun, trying new experiences, jumping out of a plane, doing those things you've always wanted to do, climbing that mountain, traveling to that place. What have you always wanted to do? When you're focused on that, not like, and not going, oh, I booked a holiday in 3 months and that's what you think about every day. Not that. Now, what are we doing now? I bought that crystal that I always wanted. Maybe the agate, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. You know, I've always wanted those big chunky ones. I wanted to make a little meditation deck in my backyard with nice cushions under that nice tree. Get a quote for that. Even if you don't have the money, get the quote for that. Because once you start taking those actions, the universe goes, we've been telling her, you know, giving her ideas in her mind about that big tree and putting that deck around it and having her friends over and doing like a circle chanty thingy, or gonging or full moon ritual or whatever, or cacao ceremony, or celebrating so-and-so's got their periods, you know, because we're just so freaking magic we can do that. She's finally taken the sign. So all of a sudden, the finance will appear. Do you know what I mean? It's like literally going, I want to do that. Like I think I told you before, I was like, oh, I want a bigger house. Maybe I'll build. I thought, you know what, I'm going to lose a lot of money from trying to do it all by myself. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to redo my house. And I've just been replacing things one by one. And next I'm going to get some quotes. I don't have the money right now, but I'm going to get some quotes for some fancy black chic curtains to make my, you know, lounge room look like a boudoir. And, you know, it's just like, I don't have the money, but I'm just going to get a quote. It's just that one little step forward towards what you want. Instead of we constantly are programmed to tell ourselves, no, I can't afford it, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? It's always that first little step. And then if you're not sure and you take that first step and then you're like, oh, actually, no, it doesn't feel right, then that's okay too. You don't have to commit to anything. Let's get one final message. Queen of Cups. I think it's very like, this, look how pretty these cards are. it's about keeping our emotional balance right now. It's about knowing emotionally what we need and what we want and actioning on that, and resting when we need to rest, and listening to our body and receiving intuitive messages. And it's just such a beautiful energy. Like, I love Sagittarius energy. It's just all about freedom mixed in with balancing people's emotions. Mwah! Chef's kiss. I really do feel like, you know, big congratulations is in order, and you've really moved through a lot of harsh energy. We've been through it the last few years. Like, god damn, you know, our lives have been hard. The last few years have been harder, and congratulations for like holding the light for the world, and for following your passions and your heart and your soul and your gut, and, you know, your personal development and your ongoing commitment to yourself and to people you love. Like, you've done such a amazing job, and I please beg you to, you know, pray to the moon tonight and just honor yourself, honor the moon for her guidance, or whoever else you feel called to honoring. Like, it's just such a freaking special time. You've gone through so many bumps in the road, just with everything. It's like every aspect has been chucked up in the air the last few years, and you've had to put it all back together, put yourself back together, and you've done a beautiful job. So have a wonderful full moon, and I'll catch you next time.